In this video, we're going to show you how to install the Downstream O2 sensor on your Hummer H3 located below the exhaust manifold. I'm going to go ahead and rotate the wheel. I want to go ahead and remove our center cap. You can do so using a flathead screwdriver or a trim tool. You can insert it right here and gently pry outward. With that center cap removed, you want to use a 19mm socket. Go ahead, loosen and remove these nuts. Once the lug nuts are removed, go ahead and grab that wheel, slide that off, and set it aside. With the front wheel off, we're going to go ahead and remove this 10mm bolt on our splash shield. Use your 10mm socket. Go ahead and remove that. We want to go ahead and remove our inner fender liner. This is just a series of plastic push pins. You're going to use your trim tool. We're going to pop out the center. And once the center comes out, then you can remove the base. Once you pull that out, we're going to repeat this process. They go up and around the upper lip, and there's a few placed in the center section to go ahead and remove. Now that we have all our buttons removed, we're going to remove the back side here. Just going to pull our splash guard here out a little bit. Drop down the back, work out the front, and then set that aside. Now our Downstream O2 sensor is just below our catalytic converter. If you follow the wire up, right here is a connector. It's right up on the, well, it's kind of close to the top of the transmission area. Now I have a pair of really long needle nose pliers, and on the side of the connector is a dark blue little lock tab here. If yours is missing or broken, it is not critical, but you want to go ahead and use these needle nose pliers. If you do have this, grab that, and you want to pull that down to unlock that. So that's a pin right there. Now we're going to reach up and on the back side facing the firewall is the connector. You're going to lift up with a finger and pull that apart. There it is right there. So you can see that gray connector right there that we had to pinch and just kind of lift up and separate that. Now in order to go ahead and remove this O2 sensor, we're going to use our split socket here, and this allows for that wire to stay attached to the sensor itself. So you drop that down over, then we're going to put our ratchet on there. And we'll go ahead and loosen this. Now our O2 sensor was a little bit stuck in there and we couldn't loosen it, so we're just using a torch here, a little MAP gas to go ahead and heat up around this here to assist us in loosening this. All right, now that our O2 sensor is out, we're going to pull that and set that aside. Now when you receive your O2 sensor, go ahead and remove the plastic cap. You want to be careful not to touch the end here. Now the unit does come with some anti-seize compound on the threads. Do not get any of that on the sensor itself. And it also has a crush washer on it. So let's go ahead and install our new sensor. Go ahead and get that lined up. Now as you thread this in, you want to go ahead and rotate the harness with it. You don't want it to twist on the wires themselves. Now when it comes to installation, I like to use an open-end wrench on something like this if you can. I'm going to go ahead and use a 22mm wrench. The reason for that is that I want to prevent any damage to these wires. Not like the split socket will cause damage, but that's going to cause some wires to push over, and I like to prevent that from happening. Now, as you tighten this here, it's going to crush that crush washer. You're going to feel it get a little firm as you crank that in. That's basically just the crush washer crushing and causing a good solid seal. And then you're going to feel it bottom out. And once that stops, you're pretty much good. That means that the crush washer is fully seated. Now I'm going to reach up, reconnect that connector. You're going to feel that tab snap into place. Now if you have that little blue locking pin, you can go ahead and install that, but ours broke. It's not critical as long as you feel that gray tab snap into place, and that connector will be good. Take your fender liner, going to bring it up and in and get our forward portion installed first, up behind the bumper. And then go ahead and push this up into place. Once you get the front kind of lined up, you have to come into the back here. I'm going to pull out our splash shield here. Push that into place. And just install all of your plastic push pins to where they had come out. Once you have all your plastic push pins securing your fender liner, go ahead and install the 10 mil bolt right here. And then just go ahead and snug that down. All right, once that's snug, now you can go ahead and install your wheel. Grab that wheel, line up those lug nuts, pop that wheel on. I'm going to go ahead and start all of our lug nuts by hand. And once we get them all started, I'm going to go ahead and snug them down. When tightening these, it's always best to do it in a crisscross pattern. We're now going to torque down our lug nuts to 103 foot-pounds. When doing so, you want to do this in a crisscross pattern. Grab your center cap. You want to line up this leg with the open spot right here. Now at this point here, once you have this installed, before you drive the vehicle, you want to go ahead and clear any O2 sensor codes that you have for this vehicle, and you can go ahead and start it up and go for a road test.
When only the best will do, demand TRQ. The only company that lets you view before you do. TRQ is committed to offering the highest quality aftermarket auto parts that are engineered for peace of mind. Thanks for using and viewing with TRQ.